Hello, this is the first episode of Cooking with Mama Cozz. There's two things I love, coffee and my mom's cooking, so we're going to combine both of them.
Hi, so today we're going to make some homemade pasta and some shrimp scampi. So let's get started. We're going to take, before we get started, if my grandmother was to make cooking without putting my hair up, it wouldn't be acceptable. So let me just pull my hair up. So we're going to start with some 00 flour, and we're going to put it on the rolling board and add equal portion of semolina flour. Take this two flours and we're going to blend them together with a fork, which we don't have to have a fork in an Italian household.
Here's the fork.
Oh, thank you. We had homemade pasta, homemade cavatello. You added an egg, and the egg should be room temperature. You don't want to take it out of the refrigerator. So you put it in a little well, and then you eat it. My trip to Italy last September with 6 of my closest friends, we went to a cooking class in the Tuscany region and had a cooking instructor by the name of Carmela. So she actually was the one that had us master the art of making homemade pasta. You don't need a pasta machine. You don't need anything fancy, although I do have a pasta machine. I find it easier to just do it on the counter. And you actually start using your hands once you've rolled in the egg to your flour mixture. The shrimp scampi is going to be inspired by a vacation that my parents took several years ago with my dear beloved Uncle Joe, my dad's oldest brother. They used to vacation every year, and sometimes my dad would consider it like a road trip. Other times they would fly, but in this case they drove to New Orleans. So they were in New Orleans, and my uncle, kind of thrifty, didn't want to spend the money to buy cooked shrimp, so he decides to buy this shrimp. And after they left and they get back to the hotel, my mom said, "Joe, how are we going to make this shrimp?" And he informs her he was going to use her coffee pot to boil the shrimp. And she said, "You're not using my coffee pot. It's not like pizza dough where you have to let it sit and raise. There's no yeast in here, so there's no reason why it has to sit. It's basically ready to be rolled out." So with that said, we start rolling our pasta. You don't want to make it too thick.
Mom, so how are we going to incorporate the coffee into this?
How are we going to incorporate? Well, I just explained that we're going to make the shrimp in there, so how are we making the pasta? Is that your question?
Yeah.
Since it's homemade pasta, it doesn't require to be boiled for 10 minutes. We could just take our homemade pasta and put it in the coffee machine, and it's going to probably cook in about 3 minutes with the hot boiling water from the coffee machine.
Okay,
So,
well here's this thing to dry your pasta out.
now we're going to roll the pasta dough. Okay. Knife. Strips of this. And a little flour. And we take our pasta and just hang it out to dry a little bit. Years ago, they used to take the pasta and put it on the bed with a tablecloth, some flour, let it sit there for a little while, and dry it out. Okay, so now we're going to prepare the rest of the ingredients. The shrimp, and we're going to make it in a caper, garlic, lemon, butter, and olive oil, and I might just add some of my wine to it. So chop up the garlic really tiny, and add some olive oil. tend to make everything taste like it's cooked in the ocean because I love salt. I love salt, I love hot stuff. I'm not going to add any hot red pepper seeds, but I am going to add some black pepper. And add some capers. A little bit of lemon zest. Now I'm going to add in the shrimp. I'm going to put all of it in. Let's add about half of it. And you know what? I am going to add a hint of my wine. Mix all the ingredients. Okay, now we're ready to add our pasta. It's funny because cooking it like this, we're not only able to cook it, but we have our own scola pasta, or as my American friends call it, the colander. We call it scola pasta, scola macaroon. And we're gonna cook it in our little basket. Smells good. Here we go. Here's our pasta, shrimp, capers. Add some of the.
May I have some?
Here we go. Let me see. Here we go. Mangia bene.
Mmm.
Buon appetit.